Hello everybody, it's Thrandier here. Welcome back to the Castle RotWK Patch 2.2 version 7. Today we have a 2v2 on Anorien II to take a look at. This is, of course, is from the Dodge Wars site that I downloaded it on. It's the new competitive league for RotWK, Dodge Wars, if you haven't heard of it before. But it does have a replay depository, which I've got a few replays from here and there. But anyway, today we have our first player, Thrandier, as Elves in the top left, and then we have Excelsior as his ally in the top right. That's Angmar. And we have Muadd as Angmar as well in the bottom left. And last but not least, his ally Megrim as Men of the West. So we got Men of the West and Angmar versus Elves and Angmar. Cool. Neither of them are in a mirror, so the Angmars are across from each other, not across from each other rather, which is great. So it should make for something a little more interesting. Alright, Muadd's going for some Throwmaster start here. Megrim's still getting his first production building up and running, but he'll probably get some counter soldiers maybe. Yep. Indeed he is. Excelsior. Let's see what he's doing here. He's going for a Thrallmaster. And we have a another Hall of the King's Men going down as well. So 2 Hall of the King's Men. And Thran is gone for some Lorien Warriors. Cool. I don't know if it's a good game or not. I literally have no idea. I just downloaded it off replay size alone. I don't know who wins, so it's going to be a shock for both of us, I guess. There's just me and someone else watching this, of course. Just me and you. You know who you are. Or not, of course, but... And of course I am using the HD edition of Rise of the Witch King, hence the reason my units will look a bit different. And no, it is not released as of yet, sadly. So there's no way to obtain it. But that is why some units look different than yours. It's not part of 2.02. A lot of people think it is. It's not. Alright, Muadd is going for a Troll and Wolf Den. Potentially get some Cav. I think that'll help him out a lot, as well as, of course, get some Dire Wolves if he friends with the Pikemen. Those are pretty good as well. Be interesting to see how Thran and Excelsior play in a competitive setting. I've never seen Thran and Excelsior play a game together before, so it could be interesting. Muadd and Megrim I've seen quite a few times though. They used to play a lot back in the day together as a team, so they got a thing going, you know. But Excelsior and Thran don't know what to expect, really. Might be great, might be not great. I hope it's good, though. Thran's going 2 barracks here. He's got some warriors coming out. He's got archers and some spearmen as well. Also throwing in a Miracle Lodge up to heal up his stuff. And Excelsior is keeping the aggression on, but he's not going to get very far with these buffed Rudar Spearmen. Looks like he's trying to probably keep Megrim just busy. Maybe he can tickle a farm. Maybe he's going to try and finish this farm, perhaps. But Megrim is chasing with a lot of units. He probably only needs 1 swordsman, to be honest. I think he's starting to realize that now here. Excelsior's creeping this war glare here. Giving himself a little bit extra income. Very nice. Looks like the same was done over here for Muadd, perhaps. And now some Wolf Riders and some Dire Wolves have entered the fray here. I was honestly expecting those Wolf Riders to insta-die after charging those front on, but they seem to be just fine somehow. A little weird, but lucky for Muadd, I guess. And he was able to now get a charge up on the archer line, which is what he really wanted to do in the first place. Luckily for Thran, though, his stuff did live, just barely, and he does have a thing that heals him up, so he can get those heals. So far the aggression seems a bit in the north here, but Excelsior is still in the south, poking away at some farms here and there. He did take a farm there. Very nice. Very nice. So I'm placing a beacon here, showing he's probably screaming his 2v1 here, if I had to guess, because it very much is. Excelsior is going to have to come to his aid very shortly if he is going to have any hope of surviving here. By the way, let's look at powers here real quick. We have Excelsior going for War Chant, Muadd going for War Chant, Thran going for War Chant, not War Chant, Rally Call, Megrim going for Rally Call. It's about what I expected. But I figured I'd look anyway. Oh no. This is one of those builder kill XD moments. Although... Oh, I thought... You gave him so much time! Oh my god, okay. I was gonna say, after having... He had like an extra 5 seconds to get that builder safe. He still almost died. We got some black Numenorians out for Excelsior, so he's taken up. He's got the really good swordsman from Angmar. He should do fairly well against the swordsman from Gondor. And of course, good to bad's easy for them. Megrim, on the other hand, is building quite a force here. He's got a lot of archers and swordsmen and some pikes there. So he's ready for war. He's also got some archers here as well. Looks like Excelsior has relieved the pressure off of Thran, though. Thran is starting to recover a bit. Add his army to the battle. He doesn't have a lot, though. He's got a couple archers and a sword and a pike in there. I guess it's not too bad. I didn't see the pike in there. Ooh, and there's the fell wind from Excelsior. And the counter fell wind from Muadd. Not really they're gaining anything out of it. But they are just repositioning each other's troops, making it so they can't attack, of course. And it does a little bit of damage, to be fair. Not a lot, though. We do have a Huldar in the field as well now. Or Megrim. Muadd, rather. Not Megrim. So he'll definitely help out. Having a hero is always a good thing, usually. Most of the time, I would say. He's having to rebuild as well there. Megrim's base is looking pretty good. He's got a lot of good production capabilities going on here. Sending a lot of troops to the field. Excelsior's got a tier 3 barracks. And another one in a Tromwolfton there as well. Looks like Muadd is in control of the single fire, so he'll be, of course, benefiting from that. Getting a little bit of power recharge time. And of course vision over the whole of the middle of the map there, around that signal fire. Muadd is upgrading to hill trolls now, it looks like. But now he is a bit on the defensive as Thran is starting to push back a bit. And Excelsior, it looks like, is going to come and aid him in that endeavor. Will the hill trolls be enough to push back the elven aggression? I'm not so sure. But he does still have his wall there. He does still have hill trolls. It depends on what Megrim does here. Because if Excelsior is able to send this amount of troops over here to 2v1 over to this side, it's not going to be good for Muadd. And I'm sure Megrim is aware of that. But Excelsior hasn't sent everything. He is continuing to send some stuff around the middle here. And probably send that towards Megrim. Or maybe flank on the Muadd's base here. Depending on what he's trying to do. Thran's army seems to be holding. The elven death clump seems to be standing strong. And this is why it's good to have a front line of Anorien warriors sometimes. A lot of people just go, I need spears and archers. But I mean, those spears would have melted to those dogs. But the, of course, Anorien warriors were there to counter them. Statue has been thrown up. Oh! But of course, Megrim is not going to let that stand. Let's take he might even get the builder kill. Down goes the builder. Ripperoni and pepperonis. Not good. And Megrim has pretty much lifted the siege on Muadd's base, it looks like. He just has a lot of troops. It's just a lot of basic troops, but, you know, numbers... They're not basic troops. Well, they are for Gondor, or Men of the West, rather, of course, but Gondor soldiers and Rohan spearmen and stuff, they're still better than some units in some other armies. Maybe not Rohan spearmen, but they're pretty bad. But they're better than nothing, yeah? A peasant's a peasant, what can I say? Alright, Excelsior has got himself some Dark Rangers. Very nice. They'll help him out a lot if he can keep those from getting killed. He's going to continue harassing over here. Doesn't look like Megrim is phased too much by that, though. He has got himself a Faramir, though. Faramir can definitely help. Faramir is also great for countering Thrallmasters because of his wounding arrow ability, of course. can just insta-kill a Thrallmaster and then kill the whole battalion of Thralls, which is always useful. You can do the same with Eowyn. She has a equally pretty good spear throw. Eomer's spear throw tends to not do enough damage because it's mostly a splash damage thing, but it's still useful if you decide to go for Angmar as well. But Faramir is always a strong choice for Angmar, I feel like, as long as you can keep him from getting hit in the face. Alright, Elven Wood has been thrown down by Thran here. Megrim has got himself a spicy hold in this signifier. I don't think Thran will be able to live if he stays here, and I think he realizes that. A lot of these fights he's getting 2v1'd, and unfortunately Excelsior doesn't have any have anything to help him with, really. He's still getting his stuff. He's actually being chased off by hobbits. Not what you want. They're building up quite a force. We do have Haldir. I can click on him. There he is. Thrandier. Oh, Excelsior lost a builder there. Ouch. Unfortunate, to say the least. Nobody likes losing their builders. Also, nobody likes sending in Thrallmasters without any summons. Now he's... Excelsior just lost two Thrallmasters without summoning any guys. That does not feel good. But that's the downside of playing Angmar, really. If you don't remember to build your troop into a Thrall, like a Thrall battalion, it's not going to do anything, and you're just going to have wasted 200 resources, which would not be good in the slightest. So far, it's not looking good for Thran. He did have a moment of glory. I think that moment's passed. Muadd is fully in his base. There's some soldiers just standing idle. Why not? Yeah. Somebody's got to stand guard. I think Excelsior knows he has to go help, but he's not in really a position to do so. But he's going to send what he can. Or maybe not. Thran did go for the Enshrouding Mist in the fortress, though, which will help debuff all the Angmar units if they get around it, so that will help slow down the attack. Definitely helps. And it looks like Muadd is going to retreat here and try to regroup. Faramir's leveling up nicely. He's already level 4. Faramir is very good. I like Faramir as a hero a lot. I think he's very good in Rise of the Witch King. And of course this Wounding Arrow. It's a bit strong for version 7. Version 8, of course, it'll have a different ability, which I believe it slows down the enemy that it hits instead of causing a splash fear, which it is currently. Which I think will be a much better and more fitting thing for the... I mean, if you got wounded by an arrow, you would move slower, so it actually, thematically, it also works. But it's a little less OP as well. Boromir has, of course, joined the fray for Megrim. Always a good hero to get. It looks like this is not going to go well. It's 2v1 here against Excelsior. There is a lot of 2v1ing going on between the bottom team onto the top team. And they're not usually able to respond to each other and help each other out. Not quick enough, at least. Because once you get 2v1, it's very difficult. You start losing a lot of your army. And by the time your ally gets to you, you're already going to have nothing. So it's going to be 2v1 on them. So you either got to act quick or prevent it from happening, really. We do have snow trolls out for Excelsior. Oh, there's the Fell Wind Longshot combo. Holy shnikes, that killed a lot of Thralls. Very nice. That's a very powerful combo Angmar has at the disposal here. Where you do a Fell Wind on a big clump and then you do your long shots from your Dark Rangers. Very, very powerful combo. Very good. Very strong. Men of the West can do something similar, of course, with their Horn of Gondor. Freeze the armies and then do the long shots with their Rangers, but you can't Fell Wind them into a clump, though. But your ally can if he's Angmar. That's fun. And there. Excelsior doing that again, unless that was on Thran. Hard to tell whose long shots are going off. But the battle is there, very much going on here. It looks like Megrim's army's pretty much being cleaned up here. Muadd's army's still pretty strong on the field, though. Mainly because Hill Troll's sick forever to die. But he does have a lot of different various rabbles of units left. Most of them are just throwmasters with nothing new here. Not very useful, of course. Alright, Excelsior's got himself good archers. He's got, as long as he can keep them, like, defended, he'll be pretty well off. But the hero advantage that the men of the West have is going to be very big. Especially since one of them Thrandier. You can melt that. And of course, Boromir is just as dangerous, if not more so, of course, because of the Horn of Gondor. Horn of Gondor is arguably much more dangerous. It's a borderline OP ability if you think about what it does. It's got a big radius. It frees enemies for a pretty long time. You know? And a frozen enemy can't fight back. Cannot run away. Cannot dodge arrow volleys. It's a very strong thing to have. Some long shots going off down onto Megrim's troops there. Some of Megrim's Excelsior's troops aren't even able to shoot there. There's the Hobbit summon again there. You gotta get back quick because he does have the signal fire, of course. That's definitely helping. Now Thrandier is being besieged by Muadd, it looks like. Waldar and Morgamir leading the charge. Morgamir is now on the field for Muadd. We still have Haldir here, level 4. Once Haldir, of course, gets level 6, he gets leadership from the Elves. It'll be useful for Thran, but there's the Gundabad summon on top of the Thran's archer line. His Mirkwoods are now in serious danger of being shredded. Thankfully, though, for Thran, he does have this Elven Mist on his fort, and he does have leadership from this statue here. He didn't quite dodge that long shot, but it's no problem, man. He tanked it pretty well. Morgamir is debuffing the Elves, though, which is definitely not helping him, or his case. We do have Waldar at level 6. Of course, he can summon Hillman at level 5. Thran lost another builder there. That's unfortunate. Every time you lose a builder, an angel loses its wings, I heard. Or a kitten dies or something. Something bad, you know? It's never a good thing. But what can you do? So far, it's pretty back and forth. But the southern team is definitely getting the better of things. Let's look at PowerPoints. I've kind of forgot about that. We got Summon Whites for Excelsior. He's got Gundabads, of course, as well. Felwind, War Chant. And he's also got 2 PowerPoints. 454, 750. They're capped at 750 because they're playing 1x command points. So that's all they can get there. Which is normal, pretty much. Unless you change it otherwise. Muadd, the Angmar player, of course, in the bottom left, has himself a very similar... He has the exact same power set, but he's a few power points behind there. He's got 2, 4, and 2 is 750, so I think Muadd's force is actually very tiny right now. So he might be in a bit of trouble. Thran's pushing with a force of strength right now. Thran, of course, does have himself Elven Wood. Relic L9 power points at 458, 710. And then Megrim, the Medalist player, who has now summoned Rohirrim in there, and he also has Eomer to give him leadership there. Very nice. He's got himself, of course, summoned Rohirrim, as you see. Summon Hobbits, heal, rally call. 3 power points at 530, 695 power points. So things are going pretty well for Megrim. Muadd, they're starting to get better now, though. Muadd's army's looking a lot stronger. He's got the Hill Trolls to tank it out. He's got his Dark Rangers as well. And he's also got 2 heroes, which is something he has an advantage over against Excelsior, who has no heroes, as far as I'm aware. Which I think Excelsior could really do with a hero. I think it would have been a useful thing. Morgamir is always a useful tool, because he's good at fighting. He can, of course, debuff the enemies with his passive, and of course he gives the Morgul Blade, if you ever want a Morgul Blade a hero. Looks like he has gone for Waldar, also an equally good choice. Waldar's not as good late game, but since he's going so heavily on the Spearman, Rudar Spearman still, Waldar will still do pretty well, and he's also a solid fighter. The Hillman leadership, of course, only applies to Hillman, so only to these crappy little Rudar Spearmen. But they're definitely helping him out. Thran's army has completely disappeared here, and now he is full on the defensive. And Megrim, or Muadd rather, is pushing heavily. Oh my god, look at that guy! Whee! He went for a fly. very cool. I've never seen a fell wind shoot someone so far. I think Thrandier might be in a lot of trouble here. These rangers are going to tear his army apart, and these hill trolls are just not going to die. Excelsior is coming to his aid again, though. Here he is. The hero that Thrandier deserves. Or doesn't deserve, rather. Needs, but doesn't deserve. That's how it goes. Something like that. It looks like Megrim's going on a little reprieve. He's on his cooldown. Does he still have the signal fire? Yes, he does. Somebody should really take that signal fire away from him. Because he's getting the most power points, I think. Maybe not, I don't know. Oh, there's double long shots. Ooh, both of them hit. Insta-kill all of Muadd's archers. Looks like Thrandier has gone for Cloud Break as his 15 power point. Freezing, of course, the enemy. And healing the allied forces a bit. Cloud Break is a very strong, very good power. Especially because the heal isn't super big, but the stun is always very good. The heal's good, though, as well, of course. I'm not saying a heal is never a good thing. Never a bad thing? Yeah, that's what I meant. Heals are never good. Don't heal. That's the Mordor philosophy. Unless you're playing 1.09. So. Alright, there's the summoned hobbits. On top of the archer line of Excelsior. Horn of Gondor going off there as well. And it looks like Megrim's army is going to clean up. Thrandier retreating with his forces. He's got some Mirkwoods and Haldir. Haldir's level 9 now. He's going to have some golden arrow action soon. Got more Mirkwoods and pikes coming out for Thrandier. Looks like he also has some pikes over here helping to try and quell Megrim's cavalry army a bit. It is a little weird that he has Gondor Knights at this late stage of the game. Because I don't remember seeing them before, but I might have just missed them. But he is going for Rohirrim. So it doesn't really matter. They're still useful, don't get me wrong. If he did build them instead of Rohirrim at this point, it's not too big of a deal. But he might have already had them, I just didn't see them. But also a possibility. Waldar is level 7, you're doing well. We have Troll Stone Throwers now. The siege has been brought in. Muadd is looking to close this fucking game out. Will he be able to do so? We shall see. This will definitely help, though. Looks like he's using his thing in the whole ground stance. Which, of course, does give it a boost in armor. It gives it minus 15% range, though, as you'll see there. But it does give it 10% armor. Generally speaking, you want to use your siege in, of course, aggressive stance. This is definitely not how you want to use your siege. I'm not sure what he's doing. But aggressive stance gives you the extra 10% range that you're going to want. Try and outrange anything that's going to shoot it. But, of course, it comes with the cost of armor, as most things. Thrandier has gone for Noldor warriors. Nice. Unexpected, but definitely not unwelcome for him. Also definitely help out. Noldors are very strong. They got really super good range. They do a lot of damage. They're just solid units all around. And they can go into sword mode if you need it, which is pretty beast mode. Got a couple of Rohirrim battalions from Megrim. He's got a couple archer battalions, couple of pikes, couple of swords. He's got a couple of everything, really. And he still has his Gondor Knights in Angmar. Angmar's now level 4. Of course, he can outlaw leadership at level 4, which is nice. Which is resources per kills, which is always good. The more money you have, the more shit you can buy, basically. We had a little long shot escape. Try to bait him into it, perhaps. Or unless that was Excelsior's, which is also possible. It's hard to tell, because they don't look any different. That one is definitely not Excelsior's. Luckily for Thrandier, though, he is standing on Elven Wood. He is getting the buff from that. Elven Wood, of course, if you're unaware, gives 50% damage and armor.
Building supplies are here.
And it gives you immune to fear and terror. Stacks with leadership and spells. So, of course, it will stack with Haldir's leadership as well, standing on top of Elven Wood, which is really good. And you'll also be immune to any fear and terror, like the Horn of Gondor, for instance. So if you're going up against a Men of the West, Elven Wood is pretty much a key power you're going to want to go for. Because your odds are you're going to be up against a Boromir at some point. And it'll be super useful. Alright, Excelsior's on the defense. He's got a lot of Dark Rangers. He should be fine unless they get too close to him. And he used to dodge a few long shots there. There's one that didn't quite kill anyone though, thankfully for Excelsior. Looks like Megrim does have fire arrows, which is going to boost his damage a bit, but he's also going to get hit in the face by some Wolf Riders. Wolf Riders not the best cav by any means, they're pretty trash. But if your archers are unprotected, they will get the job done for the most part, as you see there. They did a pretty good job. And of course the Dark Rangers shooting them while they're getting trampled also helped out quite a bit. There's a lot of cav on the field for Megrim. Oh, it's because some of them are summoned. Looks like the Rohirrim summon has happened. And he has decided to send the full force of cavalry out. Oh, very nice. I think that was Excelsior's Blight. It was indeed. Excelsior using a defensive Blight. Interesting strategy. Obviously, he wasn't really going to kill too many of these horses. But I'm assuming he just didn't want to lose his army there. So throwing that down, hoping that Megrim will just leave, I guess, was his strategy there. And that seemed to have worked out. Definitely not the most impressive Blight I've ever seen, but it did what it set out to do, and I think it was actually a good call there. Didn't make a single barrel white, but it didn't need to either. I think it was alright. We got a couple Noldors out. Noldors? Do we have Golden Arrow yet? We do. He's actually used Golden Arrow before. I missed it. There's the Cloud Break. They're using Cloud Break. Excelsior summoning the good to bad orcs and giving them the war chant. And Excelsior also bringing forth his force there. And oh dear, looks like Megrim has got the army of the dead. Oh, rip all the elves. That's unfortunate. Look at that. The only elves that's going to live is Haldir. And maybe this precious builder. That is going to perhaps seal the deal for Thrandier. He has no defense. But I don't know if Muadd has enough stuff to kill him. He is sending more though, so that's all he has to do really. So it's going to be really on Excelsior to keep Thrandier secret, keep him safe here for a minute until he gets back on his feet. She's trying to do. We got a Barrow White summon there from Excelsior. Anyone else near a Blight or anything? Muadd has a Blight. This might be where he uses it. No, apparently not. That would have been a great combo if he did the old Fell Wind, Arrow Volley, Blight combo. I think that would have made a huge amount of whites. And now Excelsior has left his base pretty much undefended to go save Thran. I think he's going to lose a lot of it because Megrim has decided to attack right now and he has a lot of stuff. And he's even brought the hobbits. He's even brought the halflings. And I've seen a halfling take a fort, so that's no joke. They will kill you. They kick you in your shins until you die. What does Thran have? He has Haldir and one Noldor. Also going for an Ent. Looks like he has gone back to his base. And I think that's GG. Excelsior has conceded. Yeah, he's I can see why. There's a lot of Men of the West in his base at this point. And I think Haldir and friends will follow suit very shortly. And Thran will GG, I'd imagine. Or he'll go down fighting, one of the two, but there's not a whole lot to go down fighting with at this point. But he does have an inch. An inch. He's used Golden Arrow like 2 or 3 times and I've yet to see it. It's very easy to miss a Golden Arrow. If you've never seen a Golden Arrow, it's just kind of like a mini Cloud Break. It's kind of good, kind of not. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what it does. Well, I mean, I am, but the high damage attack stuns. I mean, it's there you go. Yeah, Thran has been defeated as well. Nice. Well played. That was a decent game. I picked one that wasn't terrible. Nice. It's a real grab bag on Dodge Wars. You don't know what you're getting. I just went off the size of the replay. Usually the longer a replay is, generally, the better it is. Because it kind of implies they either held out or went back and forth at some point. That's my opinion. Anyway, I thought it was a decent game. I thought both sides did pretty well. But of course, Megrim did a little better. Megrim did very well that game. He was able to put out a lot of stuff. And just overwhelm with Medalist units and heroes, which is pretty good. And he got to use his fun powers like Army of the Dead, which is always nice. Cool. Well, there you go. That's a cast 2v2 cast of Rise of the Witch King 2.02 version 7. Hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.